$1.99.
Can't hear you.
The World Trade.
Oh, you mean the WTO program?
I'm good with that.
Any other clarifying questions? Any do we have any random points? Any points that we have? No? Do we have any friendly amendments to the proposal? At this point in time, we'll do a temperature check. How do you guys feel about moving into the consensus process? How do you guys feel? Excellent. Moving into consensus. How many people with this aren't feeling too good, not feeling too jazzed about this proposal? Any people staying aside, they don't want to necessarily participate, but to let others participate in this proposal? Any blocks? We have consensus. All right. Congratulations. Close fast.
Okay. Next, we have making a proposal. We have our own, Mr. Jared.
All right. So, what I'm proposing today, it was never actually consensus upon the GA to use this process, but we've used it a couple times. So I decided, for sake of clarity and transparency, that we would get the GA's consensus to no longer use direct response. So what I am proposing is that we as a GA decide collectively, even though we never decided in the first place, but we as facilitators have allowed it before, for sake of not allowing people to jump stack. To give you just a little bit of background, what a direct response allows is throughout the proposal process, you can just do this and directly respond to someone's point, and you would jump stack before everything else. The reason we don't want this is this allows people to just directly state their opinions. It cuts off discussion, and if you want to have your point, you raise your hand, you can have a comment. You can wait your turn respectively. The whole thing is we want to keep with the whole idea of step up, step back, as well as not marginalize any voices, and there's a time and place for comments, and we ask that respectively. We don't just say, well, I don't agree with that. No, it's just to keep it with consensus, to keep it going smoothly. That is my proposal.
All right, with that proposal being heard, are there any points of information? Any clarifying questions?
Was that basically to eliminate direct response?
Correct.
We have a point of information right now.
Just a point of information about direct responses. Direct responses make more sense in smaller groups where you're actually, like trying to have a conversation. But in a large group like this, direct responses, what we have seen here is that it's a way for people to get in front of other people because they want to speak, urgently. So.
Do we have any other points of information? Any clarifying questions? I guess we'll take a temperature check here and see how you guys feel about consensus on this, getting in consensus on this.
You didn't open it up to comments or concerns.
Clarifying questions or concerns.
Any clarifying?
Comments.
Points of information, clarifying questions, and concerns.
I'm just going to get over here.
Any comments?
Slash concerns.
Slash concerns. Statements? No? Okay, thank you very much. Thank you, sir. How do we feel? Let's do a temperature check on going into consensus on this. All right. How many people are not feeling too jazzed about this? Maybe want to stand aside? How many people can kind of deal with this? That kind of doesn't make a difference to them, I guess, in a sense. No? Do we have any blocks? Any blocks? Are we in consensus?
So the next one we have proposal. We have Occupy/Metro Detroit proposal on behalf of them. Whoever was presenting the proposal, they can come forward. Could you please repeat that?
Next proposer. Yeah, it is actually my web
These are
address.
submitted online. That's why.
Yeah, sorry, it's just my web address. And actually, this one, actually, this one is just, and this I'm actually just going to do, actually, no, you didn't that one for that. This is actually just a proposal to extend the legal and due diligence period and also the storage, the length of the storage for 2 more weeks on 5900. We unfortunately, we just did not have an opportunity to get the inspection done yet. We're very close to having it done. I believe it's going to take place this week. And so once that's completed, we should be able to finalize negotiations of the terms with the landlord, so that we can then bring it back to the GA for approval, or disapproval with the terms.
You got a point of process?
We just can't hear.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, I'd be happy to speak up. I'm sorry. Yes, with regard to 5900, we are in the process of getting an inspection completed so that we can determine the condition of the property and what terms we can negotiate with the landlord. We're close, but we're not quite there. So I'm just asking for 2 more weeks to complete the legal and due diligence, and a 2-week extension on the temporary storage.
Are there any points of information? Any clarifying questions regarding this proposal?
No, it's not a clarifying question.
Was that a question? Go ahead.
You mentioned the word landlord on Michigan Avenue, 5900.
Yes.
Who has a landlord there?
Or I guess I should say the owner of the property. We're the owner of the property. I shouldn't say landlord, but the owner of the property.
We don't have a landlord, that's donated, correct?
Well, yes, but we're negotiating a lease just to protect our rights there. We're not paying any rent. It's just to protect our rights.
We don't need a lease to protect our rights.
Yes, we do. I promise I'm a commercial real estate lawyer, and I promise there's definitely conditions that we need to protect our rights, and that's what we're trying to do.
We have a point of process?
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. Point of information, thank you.
Yes.
So just to clear that up, the property is owned by somebody who's donating the space, not the actual building. So it is owned by somebody else, but he's just offering up the available space. He has offered up the available space. That's been that way from the get-go. That just as a point of information, because that seemed like that was some clarity.
Yeah, so basically there are some conditions to with regard to the rights that we would have within the space to use it, conditions of using the space that we need to be clarified in writing is what we're trying to do. Yes.
Wait.
Go ahead.
Guys, at what point do we have to assume financial obligations towards the building?
Certainly not before bringing it back to the GA with any conditions and with any conditions that we were able to negotiate with the landlord. We wanted to make sure that we know the best deal that we can bring back to the GA. Now, we're not talking about any rent obligations whatsoever, by the way. I just want to make that very clear. But as far as any improvements that we'd be putting in, any utilities, things of that nature, we want to know what we're talking about in terms of what costs could be associated with it on a month-to-month basis, so that we're well informed, so that we don't walk into this blind. And that's what I want the extra 2 weeks for, so that we know really what we're getting into, if at all.
Okay, Sarah?
Well, just to kind of speak to Mark's point, I think that the lease protects us from doing work on the building and putting time and energy into it, and then getting kicked out after we fixed it up. So the idea is, this guy is really nice. He's cool. He's donating us the space. That doesn't mean that a month down the line he's not going to be like, thanks for the work, adios. So it's just some way to keep us from getting booted out of the space after doing work on it.
Okay. Curtis mentioned
what is the length of the lease?
Well, that's being negotiated right now. The original offer that he had made to us was for 6 months, if 6 months or a year, depending on whether or not we're having either 6 months or a year, depending upon whether or not we put whether or not we're paying utilities in the space, whether or not there are utilities on in the space. But we are in the process of trying to renegotiate those terms.
Steve, you have a point
We
of
have
information?
the 501c to give to that landlord to give him a discount for his generosity for taxes. The 501c, the federal.
Yes, no, I know what you're talking about. No, we have not yet. No, we do not.
That would be nice to give them.
It might be. We're looking into what we're going, what form we're going to have.
We're just going to do
Yes.
a point of process right here. Can you restate your proposal? What we want to do is we want to focus on the proposal right now. We can spread this out as thin as we want to, but let's focus on the proposal right now. Please restate your
Sure. The proposal is to extend the legal due diligence period and also the period for temporary storage for 2 weeks on 5,900.
All right, you got a point of information?
All right, so I have a point of information. It sounds like maybe some people aren't familiar with the actual initial proposal that we're looking to extend, which was that we give our legal team 2 weeks to investigate this property, to figure out what kind of expenses would that we might need to be responsible for. And what I believe she is saying is that the 2 weeks wasn't enough, and she's asking for a 2-week extension so that we can continue to gather information, so that we can make informed decisions about how we want to carry forward with the space.
That's absolutely correct.
Nicole, would you also be taking another 2 weeks of looking at the other property as well? That was still on the table?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, absolutely. Yes.
Obviously, storage doesn't apply there.
Thank
so.
you. Yes, for Woodward as well.
So for both, okay.
We have a point of process?
Yeah, it looks like we're out of time on this proposal,
So at this point in time, I'm going to do a temperature check to see if you guys are okay with going through the consensus process and closing stack. Okay, so stack is supposed to be able to let that stack.
Was there anyone who had another question or point of information?
Stack right? Hold on, just 1 second.
Okay. All right. I just wanted to say that I was involved in a group of friends of mine who were basically in charge of reopening the labyrinth when it had closed. We reopened it as the Alley Cat.
Mic check.
We can't hear. Single thing.
Sorry. I was part of a small group that reopened the Labyrinth for a short time. The Labyrinth is a bar below City Club. Anyways, we reopened it.
Excuse me one second. I'm so sorry, sir.
Process.
Yeah. We gotta talk about the proposal. I'm sorry.
So maybe have a conversation later, or maybe that would be a great announcement towards the end. We also have a soapbox period afterwards.
Oh, no.
Is that all right?
It's fine.
Does it have to do specifically with her proposal to extend the original?
Well, not to extend it. Well, I don't know. It's just the importance of getting a lease is all that I'm trying to say. I totally feel that it's important to get something in writing before doing any work. All right.
I agree.
We get that.
All right, so we did consensus. We're gonna need another temperature check to move into consensus one more time. How do you guys feel about moving to consensus? Feel good? Okay. So right now, how many people are not feeling too jazzed about this? Not feeling too good about this proposal? Anybody not like the proposal at all? They're gonna stand aside and allow others to participate. Do we in blocks? We have consensus. All right.
How you doing? My name's Eric. I'm from the Northeast District Squats. Here's my proposal. I have a proposal that finance give us a $100 prepaid Home Depot card and also a $50 gas card because we're getting a generator and kerosene heater today, finally. We're going to be out the cold and we're going to be able to see. There it is. That's the proposal.
All right. We all heard the proposal. Do we have any points of information?
Back here.
Okay. We want a $100 Home Depot card, prepaid card from finance, and a $50 gas card to pay for the gas for the generator and the kerosene, and also the Home Depot card, so we can fix up all 4 properties that we're working with.
Okay. At this point, do we have any points of information at this point in regards to this proposal? No? Is that a point of information?
No.
Okay. Let's okay. Question of information. That's what I'm looking for right now. You have one, sir?
Once again, my name is Freddie. I'm from Security Medical.
Speak up.
Okay, I'm Freddie. I'm Security Medical, okay? As the gentleman just spoke up, we also have another proposal. for the abandoned houses that he's speaking of fixing up at the next meeting.
Okay, this is a proposal.
This proposal, or you giving another proposal?
I've never seen it before.
In the process of trying to help out with the housing.
But we can't take it separate.
Yeah, it's separate.
Make a separate proposal. Yeah.
Make a proposal that.
Just make a separate proposal. That's all you got to do is get on the list.
Sorry about that.
Because I got.
Do we have any other points of information? Point of information?
I can answer any question.
Point of information?
What is the overall budget?
Well, okay, the overall budget is $100 as it stands right now.
No, I'm not asking that. I need our funds.
Okay, excuse me 1 second. We got a process right here.
Just to say that's not a point of information.
That's the question.
Right, that's a
Clarification, point of information, it would be directly a factual thing that goes directly that would add to his proposal.
Oh, yeah, question.
Okay, so, good, okay, no worries.
So, last call, excuse me 1 second. Last call for points of information. Do we have anyone that'll put a finger up with a point of information directly to this proposal?
Yes, sir.
My name's Steve. I'm the one who bought, spent $200 of my own money to buy the battery packs these guys use. And I also am the one giving them the kerosene heater, the generator, the other battery pack. It was about $1,000 worth of stuff. These guys, they can't do it for nothing. You know, I mean, they need some help, like getting this thing going. So those things are from me, so I just want to say, you know, they need a little help here. We've been told.
And we're working extremely hard.
All right, at this point, do we have any clarifying questions? Please put your hands up in a matter of...
Leave your hands up, should I look at you? Everybody put their hands up, you have clarifying questions? And we'll start with you.
Sure. I guess the standard proposal is that things up to $100 do come to this before, and then afterwards you come, or you buy with your own money, and then you come in and are reimbursed, with the exception of when you can't front the money up. So I guess, is that the case here? And is there any way that if this is approved, you provide sort of a basic, if not the actual receipts, at least a basic description of what the money was spent on?
Okay, no problem, sir. This is why I asked for some prepaid cards, so they will be used exactly for that matter. So far, Eric has been the person fronting the cash. And he has kept some receipts, but he's not even asking for reimbursement. I'm gonna ask for reimbursement for the stuff that he done bought for these houses already. Okay, we've worked with a zero budget thus far. And if you came down to work day, you would have seen what type of progress we have got thus far, just inventing and using the wood from the pallets and everything else. Okay, we're running out of 2x4s, which is making a lot of frames. Hopefully Mackie might bring some or not, but in either case, it's just like $100 is just for little items that we need to add to the generator, like lines and like. You can get all the receipts you want, sir, because actually Eric is going to be the one, where is Eric? Our supervisor. He's going to be the one with the cards buying the stuff, so, and he's a trustworthy person.
All right.
Okay?
All right. Do we have any other?
I was just wondering what property this is that you're...
Okay, there's 4 properties on Golden Gate.
Okay, it's the Golden Gate now.
Yeah, it's 4 properties that we're working on right now. Okay? Come visit us anytime.
You got a question?
Yeah. What fundraising for earmarked funds have you been doing?
Excuse me?
Have you been doing any fundraising for earmarked funds for your squats?
We haven't done any. We've been working. We haven't had time to. We getting dirty. We're working. We're not even taking showers. We living in the dark, and we living pretty hard. We don't have no Wi-Fi, internet access, no TV, no nothing. We don't have. We're not looking. That's what your job is. You guys' job is. We there get shit done crew. Okay. All right. And we're not looking to be pretty or anything. We just want to know that when we actually need something to make it work, we got Eric. This is Eric right here. We'll have the Home Depot card. It won't have to come off his pocket because it's kind of. I'm feeling bad for him to have to. He don't even have a job. to pay for everything that we got, that we gave. Yeah, so